Imagine a childhood spent in extreme poverty, a life where you lose your parents at a young age and are forced to start working. This is the story of our protagonist today. Growing up without the shelter of his parents, he found himself navigating through life's struggles at a tender age. The burden of responsibility fell on his young shoulders, and he had to work tirelessly in private jobs to fend for himself and his sisters. He was the pillar of strength for his family, ensuring his sisters were married off and a roof was put over their heads. His own marriage was a decision made with great thought. He chose to marry a working woman, a government employee, hoping to provide a better life for their future children, a life that he himself was denied. His decision to marry a working woman was a conscious choice, a plan for a better future. But did it turn out as he had hoped? Marriage, expected to be a partnership, became a source of constant distress for our protagonist. His wife decided to live with her parents even after their wedding, a decision that was not part of the plan. His home was left devoid of the warmth and companionship that he had yearned for, with her only visiting during festivals or holidays. This was not the picture of marital bliss he had imagined. As time passed, he started to sense a scheme brewing within his in-laws' household. His wife's father had a history of alcoholism, which had drained all their savings. His wife, without consulting him, took a loan of 10 lakh rupees to buy a house. He felt disrespected and ignored, as if his opinion held no value in their lives. Yet he chose to ignore these red flags, choosing instead to focus on preserving his family. But the blatant disregard from his wife's family began to escalate. His wife stood by them, supporting their actions, further widening the gap between them. The exclusion from family functions and the lack of communication during times of sorrow left him feeling isolated and mistreated, but he felt powerless, with no option but to endure these slights. The predicament worsened when his wife's brother-in-law started frequenting their house, even spending late nights. His heart ached at this blatant disrespect, but he felt helpless. Amidst all this chaos, his wife was pregnant, and he was looking forward to the arrival of their first child. Despite the mounting troubles, he decided to keep his patience for the sake of his family. But how long could he hold on? Every person has a breaking point, and our protagonist was slowly nearing his. The question that remained was, when the final straw would break, and what would be his course of action then? The arrival of a baby should have been a joyous occasion, but it turned into a nightmare for our protagonist. The birth of his daughter in 2021 was a moment of pure bliss, tainted only by the ongoing tension with his wife's family. He organized a function to celebrate this new life, a beacon of hope amidst their struggles. Unfortunately, this was where things took a turn for the worse. Our protagonist, unable to bear the constant disrespect and intrusion by his wife's brother, decided not to invite him to the function. This seemingly minor decision spiraled into a major conflict. As his in-laws took offense, his wife's family created an uproar, turning a joyous occasion into a battleground. In the heat of the moment, our protagonist let loose his pent-up frustrations. He confronted his wife about her brother's inappropriate behavior, about the loan she had taken without consulting him, and about the disregard they had shown for his feelings. His anger, a result of years of accumulated disrespect, exploded in front of all the guests. His outcry led to an unthinkable outcome. In the middle of the night, his wife took their newborn daughter and left with her family, leaving him alone. His pleas fell on deaf ears as his wife accused him of driving them away because their child was a girl. She declared that her parents would never accept him again. Since that night, his wife never returned. His only connection to his daughter is through occasional video calls on WhatsApp. He is now in a state of despair and confusion, unsure of what to do next. The last 3 years have been a never-ending cycle of depression, loneliness, and a desperate longing for his daughter. Left alone with his daughter as his only solace, he is now in a state of despair and confusion. He does not want to lose his daughter, but he also cannot bear the thought of her growing up amidst the same disrespect and deceit that he had endured. His ongoing struggle is a testament to the harsh reality of life's unpredictability. 3 years have passed since that fateful night. Our protagonist is now seeking your advice. He's walking a lonely path, living with the haunting absence of his wife and the longing for his daughter. His heart aches with fear for his daughter's future. He worries that she might suffer the same ill treatment from her mother's family. Depression has wrapped its cold arms around him, and he's been medicating for the past 3 years. When he reached out to his wife, her indifference only amplified his despair. He's at a crossroads now, torn between his longing for his family and his need to protect his own mental health. His plea is simple, yet profound. He doesn't want to lose his daughter, yet he doesn't know how to navigate this complex situation. So he turns to you, seeking wisdom from your experiences. Now it's up to you, dear viewers, to share your thoughts and advice. What should he do?